Imagine all the people. That's a new TikTok thing, huh? Where there's a game that you can play that it gives you a word, and then you have to sing a song with that
Whoa,
word.
I didn't see that. Is that a new
Yeah,
filter
bro.
game thingy?
Oh, sorry, it just hit something so hard.
I'm gonna do
It's
that.
a new game.
I'm gonna look
Maybe
for
I have
it.
it saved. It was quite a good time for me. The only thing that I was really singing though was the song from Glee. Don't stop. Yeah, that one. Took me a while.
Why did I know what you were talking about? There's so many songs in Glee. It's like 7 seasons of a fucking show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Out of Luck podcast. Here meeting in different time zones just for you, bringing you the buzz from Tel Aviv all the way to Amsterdam. I'm Fawn.
And I'm Nitzan, and welcome back to Being Out of Luck. So, today's episode is going to be on dating and relationships, more specifically, dating in high school, first dating in the real world, kind of relating to last episode.
It's a little bit weird that we're talking about high school since considering the fact that we haven't been in high school for 5 years or something. But I think it's a really relevant factor just on the basis that that's our only comparison to dating nowadays. And I feel like that's also where people initially start dating in their life.
Yeah. We both experienced more serious relationships for the first time in high school. And then after high school, every relationship has kind of had similar patterns, or like the way we got into those relationships have had similar patterns. And in high school, it was a lot different. High school is not the real world. This is the real world that we're living in right now. So let's start off with our current relationship status.
I'm single, always ready to mingle. No, that makes me sound like no. I'm single right now.
Me too. I'm single Pringle, emotionally unavailable.
I don't stand by that. I hate that. I hate people that say they're emotionally unavailable because I feel like they're because I think that that's a very like limiting, how do you say, viewpoint, because of the fact that everybody in this day and age are saying, oh my god, you start dating somebody new and they're automatically, I'm emotionally unavailable, so don't get attached. That's what it always is. They're limiting themselves to a lot of things and a lot of people that can prove to be beneficial in your life. But anyways.
Okay, no, that's not why I'm saying that. Hear me out. I am really emotionally unavailable. I tried relationships. Well, I tried a relationship after my last relationship. And as much as I wanted to be there for the person and they wanted to be there for me, I could only take so much because I have also my own insecurities that I'm not whole with yet. And even though he wouldn't do things to trigger my insecurities, I would still take it as a trigger to an insecurity. Or even like as simple as sending a text message and I would start overthinking, what if that message annoyed him? What if I shouldn't have texted that? Maybe I should have texted that an hour later, not right now. Da-da-da-da-da. And for me, that's very toxic and I find it very unhealthy, like to think like that, because I don't want to have to think 100 things when I send a text message to my significant other. So I kind of realized that I had some more self-work to do in healing my insecurities and my past traumas in relationships in order for me to be in a successful relationship.
Oh, lordy lord.
I'm sorry for anyone listening. I'm sorry. We just talked about such good stuff and it wasn't recorded and I don't know what was.
It sounds like it was not recording, so maybe you'll just have to listen to my voice. But why do a lot of people, because I know a lot of girls who like really overstress about just the timing of messages. And I think that's such a weird thing to be stressed out about, because sometimes I respond really quickly. Sometimes I don't respond for like 2, 3, 4 days. I know that's excessive, but I have to nap and I love napping. But I just feel like it's such a weird thing to be insecure about because of the fact that honestly, when I find it really embarrassing, for example, you know, when when you're texting somebody and you go off the app, right? You go off WhatsApp or you go off wherever the fuck you're texting them, and it's like the drop down notification, right? And you accidentally click it. So I have my ticks on, so you can see when I've read your shit. And so basically, if they've already seen that I've read it, I have to respond. I feel embarrassed if I don't respond right away because then it's like, oh fuck, they've known that I've seen it. And I think that has helped me a lot in being a person who doesn't necessarily like care when or not they send a message. Because I know, like, for a fact, I know some people that literally go like, I can't text him on a Friday because he's gonna think that I'm a loser because I'm not doing anything. Yeah. And like just the fact that there's like the fact that the term, oh, you've been left on red, that has become such an offensive thing to some people. There are some people that I genuinely just don't want to respond to. And I don't feel like I have to respond to them. I honestly don't care. And there are also some people that the conversation is just very interesting. And I know / I don't care if they were to judge me if I respond quickly. But let's go. We just totally sidetracked from what today's thing was actually about. Besides that, we're actually going to go into the topic of today, which is, like we had said, dating in high school versus dating nowadays. And I don't know if it cut off or not. I'm just going to say it for good measure. The reason why we're talking about this is because high school, I feel, is when most everybody, I don't want to like categorize because there are obviously some people that don't or didn't start dating at that time, and I don't want to exclude them, but that's when, you know, the guys and the girls start intermingling. That's when we started dating and having boyfriends and whatnot, and that was our first experience with the whole dating world, and that's the only thing we had to carry through when we came into nowadays, living wherever we're living or wherever you're living. Sort of like last episode with the friends and everything. You're in a confined environment. You're in a building filled with people that you see every day or almost every day. And that essentially helps with building relationships because you're all in close quarters, you know?
Yeah. Also, for me in high school, my boyfriend went to a different school.
Yeah.
But we had sports that interacted with other schools, and therefore it was very common to have friendships in other schools as well.
And it's like international school, so the vibes were the same. Like, you know, the kids were relatively the same and stuff. But yeah, I would say dating in high school was pretty. There was crazy cheating. Let's not get that twisted. But not per se from me. If you're one of my ex-boyfriends from high school, I did not cheat on you ever.
I think there was also. There wasn't as much room for toxicity, if you know what I mean. Like, you could still be toxic.
Yeah. No, but I get what you mean, because I feel like the moment that you fight with your boyfriend or girlfriend, that's it. That's the line, you know? It's not, there's no rekindling the relationship. It's either like you fight and it's fucking over, or there are just no fights.
Yeah, and also like you're in like the same friend group. Like,
so everybody knows what's going on.
You have classes together. Yeah. Like, it's literally, you have to see each other every single day.
Yeah.
So, I don't think anyone was at the point where they were. I can think of one relationship that was, two relationships that were extremely.
Say it to my face. I'll bleep it. Say it. I'll bleep it.
The first one is.
I'm dead.
The second one was.
Oh my god, that was not even toxic. That's just mental war. We have to do an out of luck unfiltered.
I know. We should have like a Patreon or an OnlyFans, not where we're naked parents. OnlyFans to upload exclusive content. But yeah, so I can think of only very few relationships that were extremely toxic. And again, two of the three that I thought about, it was more like the girls were crazy and had a lot of issues, and the boys just didn't know what to do with themselves. A lot of the 2 out of the 3 relationships was more on the
Yeah,
girls than the
true.
guys.
But
okay?
I'm gonna say I'm also gonna stand up for the ladies and say that the men could have been, well, let's not say men. The boys could have been more. The guys literally, they want that. They want the fucking drama.
Okay, wait. Let's put this on pause, okay? Because I said 2 out of the 3 relationships is on the girl. He was toxic and she was toxic. It was horrible because he was cheating on her and she was cheating on him and she was mad at him for cheating on her, and he was like, but you're cheating on me, so why can't I cheat on you? And no, like, if you're cheating on each other, just break up. Period. What's the fighting about? Why are you cheating on me so I can cheat on you? No, if you love someone, you don't cheat on them. Period. So yeah. Anyways, back to that. So I don't think in high school there's much room for toxicity in relationships. Even, like, as you said, like, the measures of fighting, like, yeah, you can have an argument, but it's not like you go back to your apartment and you're living alone and you can have a boy over because you're mad at your boyfriend, you know? You're going back to sleep at your parents' house. Like,
and
that's
the point.
the point.
That's what we need more in our relationships nowadays. Just that sense of separation, you know? Because I'm quite an individual person. I like to do shit by myself. Yesterday was my birthday. I went to eat ramen by myself. But sometimes I forget, you know, especially when I'm dating somebody, I forget about them. Not because I want to, but just because I like to do things by myself. And when I have to bring another person into the equation, it just becomes difficult. If I'm hungry, the first thing I'm thinking of is what I want to eat, if I'm going to go and get it, or if I want to order it, right? I'm not thinking, who am I going to bring along? But at the same time, where was I going with this? At the same time, I feel like that separation, or that I feel couples nowadays, they're all in each other's space. You know, I need to see you. Can I see you this day? Can I see you this day? Can I see you this day? Blah, 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 blah. And you just need time to yourself. Like, sometimes you have couples that I know that literally stay over at each other's houses for 3 days or 4 days or the whole week in a row.
Dude, you're talking to the queen of that. You're literally talking to the queen of that.
Are you guys not fucking tired of that shit?
So I agree with you, and as you were saying that, a thought popped into my head that was kind of like, maybe that's because of relationships in high school. So think about it. When you're in school, you see the person every single day. And then after school, you have sports. Yeah. Okay, fine. You see that person all day long throughout classes. You stay with that person in lunch. School ends. Maybe you have sports. You have an after-school activity. You have some homework to do. But then that ends, and then you want to see your significant other again. So you go on a date with them for dinner or whatever. And because there's that sense of seeing them in school, but then you also want to see them outside of school, then you're constantly with that person 24/7. And like, that's not healthy, because clearly when you go into the adult world, each person has their own school or their own job or their own group of friends and their whole entire own life, whereas in school everything is connected. And then you're kind of thrown into the world and you're like, okay, so now I have a boyfriend, so now I want to be with him 24/7 because that's how it always was. And it shouldn't be like that. I completely...
Because I was also talking to my coach about this, my touch rugby coach. She's, of course, older. She's married and everything. And we were talking about relationships and all that shbottle. And she said basically that her husband got a little bit defensive over the fact that she spent so much time working on touch rugby. And in that situation, you know, my first thought was, we do have events and things. Like, we have a lot of events for touch. And you know, I made the comment, like, of course you can invite him to those and then he can become more a part of your life. But at the same time, there are significant others that it's not that they don't want to support you. They are supporting you by letting you do what you want to do. But on the same time, they don't want to join the events because it's just not who they are, you know? It's, for example, if an introverted person is dating semi-extroverted person and the extroverted person wants to go out and party, and the introverted person says, no, you can have fun, but I don't want to join in. Nowadays, so many people that, you know, the party goers, like, when you meet somebody that doesn't want to do that, in your head, it's, oh my God, this is never going to work. It's not a match for me. Why the fuck not? Why do we have to go jumping and dancing together? Go fucking do it with your friends. Have a blast. I'll see you when you get home. You know? It's like, now it's, we were also talking about this. It's the fact that people have their similarities and differences, right?
Yeah.
And I was saying, nowadays people have so many options, or seemingly they think that they have so many options because of all these dating apps and whatnot. And so it goes in a situation where, let's say I list out my hobbies, right? So I like playing touch, I like reading, I like writing, I like playing Sudoku, and I like watching TV. Let's say I meet somebody, they like playing touch, they like reading, they like writing, they like watching TV, but they don't like Sudoku. I feel like the people in this generation and nowadays are more likely to say like, oh, fuck, they don't like Sudoku, so I need to go out there and I'm going to find somebody who likes all those 5 things. Instead of just being like, but look at how many things they do like that I have in common with them.
You can also say that in the terms,
not have
in
anything
terms of
in
looks. No, you can literally say that in terms of looks. Like, person has everything I want in a person. But he's shorter than me, and he's a little chubby, and he doesn't have a 6-pack, and he doesn't have blue eyes. So I'm not going to go for him, because maybe I'll find someone who has all those qualities but looks better. No, I agree with you. People, and it's literally something that I hear on every single podcast that I listen to, is people talking about how nowadays in relationships, people just have so many options with social media, with dating apps. They always think they can find something better. And I spoke about this the other day with my friend Jacob, because that's the reason people are scared to be committed too. Like, people will start seeing someone and will really, really like that person, but then they'll be like, yeah, but what if I find something better? So I'm going to keep going out with her, but she's not my girlfriend. Like, they don't want to put the title because they want to be open for the options. And I think that's horrible, because our generation is so fucked in the head. Like, nobody can get in a serious relationship.
Exactly. And that's really something that I am really getting frustrated at. And I spoke to another teammate of mine. I know that I'm only talking about touch people, but I freaking love them. So I was talking to Irvin. Shout out to Irvin. And he was saying that, you know, he just started going on dates. He went on lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of dates. And he just started asking people the questions that everyday people would think would scare off a person that they're dating. You know, like, what are you looking for? Do you want to do this, this, and this? Like, really deep shit, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, there's going to be people that are like, no, this is too much for me. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, there's also going to be that one guy who's like, okay, I'll answer it. It doesn't scare me away. And you know that somebody like that will fucking stick around. Immediately when Irvin said that, my approach to dating changed. And I said, he's totally right. Because if it scares the dude away, then so fucking be it, right? Like, just let them run off like a little pussy and go find some bitch who wants to talk about how cute her outfit looks. You know what I mean?
I do have something to say about that, though, because the person that I had mentioned earlier, I don't know if I recorded it, but I am currently single, and I went out with someone after my last relationship for a little bit, and it didn't work out between us. And when we first started seeing each other, I don't even think I didn't want a relationship and he didn't want a relationship, but we became really good friends because we talked about really deep shit, like, right off the bat. I told him like,
and that's exactly
right.
Because you get deeper than that surface level bullshit of like, oh, like, what school did you go to, blah 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 blah, you know, like, jump into the fucking deep end. And if you open up with each other, now you guys are friends, you know, you guys are still, you guys are great friends.
That's what I was going to say, is that we were very open right off the back, and I told him, like, all my biggest insecurities, all my baggage that I carry with me, and he did the same to me. And in a like really weird way, that's why we really connected, because we had a lot of similarities in our baggage, and it was like a great relationship for 3 months, and then it just went ding, and I had a moment of insecurity, and it triggered his insecurities, and it just blew up in our faces. So, and for a while we did have to take like a step back, you know, but now we are very, very, very good friends. So even like what I was going to say is, yes, I agree. Go ahead, ask those uncomfortable questions, scare off the person who cares, but don't expect that person to be your significant other necessarily, because they could possibly end up being your best friend. Like, I literally got a best friend out of it. We're not dating anymore, but when I like had such hard moments and I call him, he just knows what to say and what to do for me to get my shit together in that moment and to make me feel comforted.
And I don't know if you agree with me, but like before, when I was dating in the past, I feel how do you say it? Like, I had my problems, but the reason that I was going into dating was because the guy took my mind off of it. Took my mind off of my problems. And I felt like the breakups were so much harder because every single time that I would break up with them or they would break up with me, they were my safety net, and that was just completely ripped from under me. Whereas like the most previous relationship that I was in, I felt really okay with myself, and I felt like, yeah, I have bad days, to be honest, but I also have really good ones. And mentally, I was, dealing with my shit very well. And I was good at giving people advice. And he seemed like a really happy person, whatever. And then shit started hitting the fan. Like, he started having problems after problems. Not because of the person who he is, but just because life handed him some unforeseen situations. Let's say it like that. And then he started coming to me with his problems. And of course, I'm not a fucking so I shouldn't say bitch. But at the same time, I'm not a therapist. If you want me to be your therapist, fucking pay me. Fucking pay me, bitch. But I'm not. I can give you advice, but don't put your problems on me because I have my own. And especially how he did it, how he did it. He put his problems on me and then he ran away. And it's just like, you're literally leaving me with your fucking the shit that gets stuck.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I think that it's okay to share your problems in a relationship and to support your significant other, but that person cannot be your only source of advice, help, or happiness. You have to be able to help yourself.
Because then your happiness then is dependent on them.
Exactly. And if they get up and leave.
And And so when that started happening, and that's why, like, honestly, I really like the guy, but I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I'm fucking over it. I can go see another man's whatever. But it's just like, don't throw shit at somebody else. You can, of course, ask them for advice, but they're not going to fix everything for you. They are not you, You need to fix yourself. You need to make better of the situation. Like, of course, give yourself time to relax and whatever. But pick it up at one point, Pick yourself up at one point. Because, I mean, I feel like for me, I'm an open-minded person. I've been through quite a lot of stuff. So you could tell me basically almost anything and it wouldn't scare me away unless you're like a serial killer. But at the same time, I feel, of course, there are people out there that haven't been through a lot of stuff and are not prepared, do not know how to deal with situations. And that's not to clock them or anything, but I just feel like the people that will stay for a reason, and the people that won't don't understand it, and that's the hard part, because also, especially our high school that we went to, most of the people stayed around the whole 9 yards, and with that being the situation, we went through a lot of the same stuff. So everybody had the rather same emotions going into things. But coming into the real world, you don't know anything about anybody. Like, people are literally strangers. When I say strangers, like, how the world is a big place, right? The world is a big place. And you can really say, I've never seen this motherfucker in my life. Like, that's what the type of strangers that they are. You really have never seen this one before. Like, you do not know who these people are. And it's so easy, trust me, it's so easy going into dating and saying to yourself, like, oh my God, this is the love of my life, blah, 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 blah. I'm so... But half the time, it's infatuation, and you don't realize it until it's too late.
Very true. I was in a extremely toxic relationship for over a year. And I was very insecure with myself at the time. I now looking back at it realized that. I didn't realize that at the time. But I had met him. I had met him in the summer cuz he had moved in with one of my friends. And in my head, it was like, "Oh, he's living with one of my best friends." Yeah. So in my head, it was like, "Oh, he's living with one of my best friends. So me and him are gonna be a perfect couple. Like, we're gonna be amazing." And like the first time I saw him, I was like, "Ooh, he's cute." And I gave him this look and he gave me that look, and then he left my friend's room, and I was kind of, and it was the day she moved in to live with him, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's cute." And she was like, "I think you guys would be really good together." And I don't know why I thought listening to her, like, I don't know why I would listen to that advice, because she had known him for one day and I had known him for one day. And she said, "I think you will be very good together." And I took that as, "Oh my god, this guy's the one." He was like 4 years older than me, and like I am very advanced in the sense that I want to get married and have children like as soon as possible. Just give me a ring in the next year and I would be so happy, you know? So he came up to me and he was like, "Listen, I have a 5-year plan. In the next 5 years, I want to be married. And in the next 10 years, I want to have kids." So when he told me that, I was like, "Oh my god, that's perfect." Because I want to get married in the next 5 years.
Not for me.
And I was in love with the idea of getting married to this guy. I was not in love with him. Like, later when I learned all these things about him, I hated him. I literally hated him. But by that point, I already loved him. That it was a mixture of love and hate. And that's what created the relationship so incredibly toxic. And at the end of the day, it was because I literally fell in love with a stranger. I had no idea who this man was. And within the first 48 hours, the first 48 hours of meeting him, I was like, "I'm going to marry him." I literally thought I was going to marry him. And like, and like you said before, like, there's people that you know that go 3-4 days in a row with their significant other. I would go 3-4 weeks in a row at his apartment. He would go, we didn't have a day apart for the whole time that we were dating. And the 2 weeks that we did have apart was the time that I realized that something was wrong and we have to break up. I like he would sleep at my house for 3 weeks. He would go home in the morning after 3 weeks, and that same evening I would drive over to his house. Like, it was like that. Like, we were like a married couple because we thought we were gonna get married, but we were just dating for less than a year. Like, the whole entire relationship was like that.
Bro, that's so messed up. And you would fucking drive. You would fucking trek to him.
Yeah, I'm very embarrassed that I was in a relationship like that. I'm very embarrassed that I was that kind of person. So I'm embarrassed to say that I was that girl. But I learned so much from that relationship, about relationships, about myself, about the kind of guy I want to be with. But yeah. So that's why you said stranger, and that brought right away. I was like, "Oh my god." He was a stranger.
Well, I mean, you live and you fucking learn, huh? And so, yeah, and now it's just like the reason why I also have started asking the questions that don't want to be asked, or that people are uncomfortable with asking, is because I realized, like, I went on a date with this guy and I asked him those uncomfortable questions. And, you know, I'm like a scientist. I like to do experiments. I came home and I thought to myself, let's do a comparison of my test results, right? And I said, in how long was the date? From if I say the time, he's gonna know who it was. Like 4 to 5
Why
hour
does he listen
date.
to this podcast?
No, but he knows that we're doing a podcast. And so it was like a 4 to 5 hour date, and then I had to go to do something after. Nothing weird. I had plans with my friends. She's like, "Oh, she has to go hit the red light districts." No. But so when I finished the date, you know, I came home and whatever, and then the next day I was thinking to myself, like, how did that interaction really go? And it's important to ask yourself those questions, you know, how did the interaction really go? Because half the time you think it's good interaction because you're a fucking blabbermouth and the guy just let you go at it, you know? So of course, chit-chatting is fun. Like, we started a podcast. Chit-chatting is fucking fun. And so, you know, if you think back, like, did he make effort to talk? Did he ask you questions as well? Did you get to ask him questions? Did he answer those questions? Were his answers clear? Blah, 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 blah. Along with that, I had also asked myself, in the 4 to 5 hours that I was talking to this guy, what did I learn about him? Mm-hmm. You know? I can remember essentially what I told him, but what did he tell me? Do I know enough about him as much as he knows about me? Because if he knows more about me, that's already an unfair advantage, because you're basically giving them a checklist of how they can manipulate you. That's for another day.
I never thought of that.
Yeah. And so the more you tell them, the more your book is finishing, and you've only gotten, like, what, 2 sentences into their fucking book.
Yeah.
Right? And at the same time, I was comparing what he was telling me and the questions or the things that I knew about him. I was comparing them to the things that I knew about the last guy that I was dating. The last guy that I dated was obviously for longer than I've known this guy. But there were some things that this new guy that I went on a date with told me that I asked myself, do I know this about the last guy? And I couldn't answer them. And the fact that I know more...
I have a question. Wait.
Yeah.
Actually finish. I just want to make it clear for the listeners, because when you say you're comparing, it's not comparing them as people. It's just comparing the knowledge that you have about them.
Yeah, exactly. Just to clear that up. It's not saying, like, oh, this guy's so much hotter than this guy. It's saying that, like, the information that he's telling me that allows me to make a judgment of whether or not I want to continue this interaction, is it important or not? You know, does it let me get to know another individual on something that my eyes cannot see, you know? Yeah. And so I thought that was quite a fun little experiment. And it was really enlightening, because the last guy, I really thought I was in love with him. And to be fair, now looking back at it, no. Sorry to say, if you're listening to this, fuck you. I'm just kidding.
You're not.
No, I'm not. And you know I'm not that bitch that will edit that out. But anyways. Yeah. Oh, we've been recording already for 45 minutes. Before we continue on to... I feel like we should save, like, romanticizing and that whole entire concept of especially for the gals out there, you know what we're talking about, bitches. You know it's fucking you. The fact that, like...
Infatuation.
Yeah, infatuation. Thinking about the future before you even get to know the person. I feel like that's a nice topic to talk about next dating segment. We have some little things, some little treaties at the end of this one for you. So, me and Nitsan, as the fucking troopers that we are, we have downloaded dating apps for you guys, and we've scrolled through, did a huge inspection of what is in and out there for you gals. Yeah, and we just wanted to share.
Yeah, I think you can take the lead in, like, sharing your stories so far, because my stories are not stories. It's literally because everything is in Hebrew. So
True.
I like, even if I try to, like, translate the weirdness, it won't translate to English. Like, you won't understand why it's weird. You know what I mean? Let's say which dating apps, like, cause.
Okay. We'll go into that also next time. We'll do a review of dating apps for them next time. But primarily for this experiment, I've been using Hinge. So my data comes from Hinge. So I'm going to show you guys, like, 3 of just some fucked up shit guys said that really shouldn't be out there. Really should not be out there. And I'll be nice to the boys. I'll give them some tips and tricks how they can make their fucking profiles better. I'm only gonna give you a couple because that shit's gold. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm not gonna say the name. Should I say their names?
No, don't say their names. That's not nice.
Okay. So this spectacular specimen comes over and says, all I ask. Okay, so let me explain a little bit. Hinge allows you to have 6 photos of yourself, and you have to answer 3 prompts.
At least.
So the prompts are like a small question. Yeah, at least. The prompts are a small question, and then you give the answer underneath. So, for example, this guy decided to pick the prompts, and you can pick whatever prompt you want. This guy decided to pick the prompt that says, all I ask is that you. And so he has to fill in the rest, right? So he goes, all I ask is that you can deal with my God complex.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Did you fucking read that through? Like, the embarrassment. Men love themselves too much. Honestly, men fucking love themselves too much. And I'm not going to take a dig at his looks, but honey.
Oh, no.
Settle down, bro. Settle down.
That's horrible.
My God. Okay, this one. Okay. Since it's the first time around. Yeah, you go on.
I only have one, and it's not like something weird about the person's profile necessarily. It's just a really weird interaction I had with someone I had matched with on Hinge.
Okay, I like that.
So also on Hinge, you can connect your Instagram account, and a person can go into your Instagram on the actual app through Hinge. So I got someone who matched with me and then messaged me, hey, wait, for the purpose of this text, I'm changing my ex's name to Alec Baldwin, okay? So he messages me, hey, how are you? How do you know Alec Baldwin? A person who had matched with me on a dating app messaged me asking how I know my ex-boyfriend because he had seen him on my Instagram. Yeah. That's a very weird. If you see a man on a woman's Instagram, I would not hit on her by asking, how do you know that person?
No, especially like if it's like a friend of a friend, just fucking swipe the other day. I mean, to be fair, when I do like run into people that I know, I always match with them just for the fucking bands.
Me too.
But like I wouldn't ask like, you know, blah 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 blah.
I've had situations where I'm like, oh my God, no way, if it's a group photo. But if you see a photo of me with a boy a year and a half ago who is clearly my ex-boyfriend, do not message me.
Just keep it to yourself, mate. Yeah, just fucking keep it to yourself.
That's the weirdest incident I've had on dating apps ever.
Yeah. I mean, it gets pretty rowdy here in Amsterdam. One of my favorites. I'm so fucking happy I screenshotted it in time. So I matched with this. He was rather handsome. Matched with this guy, and then he goes, I asked for a brunette with blonde. A brunette with blonde eyes. Nice. A brunette with blue eyes. Looks like something's missing. I have brown eyes, by the way. Looks like something's missing. Can you cook? Can you believe? Can you contain yourself a little bit? Can you fucking contain yourself a little bit? So, of course, my response was just, you know, rather logical. I just said, don't you think that the fact that I don't have blue eyes now will come to piss you off later? You know, genuine question there. And he responds back with, note to self, don't try to be funny with Fawn after 10 p.m. And I said, this motherfucking bitch. So I started laying into him, right? Nothing too aggressive. And then he goes, good luck with your dating life. And I said, you as well. And then he blocked me. But I got the fucking screenshots in time. And then he blocked me. So, well, unmatched.
That's funny.
I'll save the rest for next time. We still have some good. I have some fucking weird stories, but
you have really funny things from dating apps. I just don't have anything funny. I'm looking. I'm downloading more and more.
But we'll do 3 tips. We'll do 3 tips each time. And then here I have tips for the boys because we've been so mean to them. So I said, just don't put black and white photos. Just don't do it, because the moment that you use black and white photos, right, everybody fucking looks good in black and white. Everybody. You cannot tell the shade of someone's skin. Not that I'm being racist, but you cannot tell, like some people are so white.
Or like the color of the eyes.
Yeah, the color of their eyes, whether like the color of the hair, everything. You can't tell who the fuck you are in a black and white photo. It's black and fucking white, you know? You can't tell.
Yeah.
Next, I know this might sound weird, but side profiles, they're a lie. Like, you know, when a guy puts a side profile, if you have a nice side profile, good for you. But don't use that as your main, like, income, let's say, right? If you're only posting side pictures, then you turn to the front and your head is not what I've fucking expected. The same goes for sunglasses. Don't wear sunglasses. We need to know what your eyes look like.
I say a lot about a person.
And it's simple shit like that, boys. Like, don't get it twisted. That was 3. I won't give you guys any more. Keep you
on your toes.
You know, wanting a little bit more from me. But I'll give you here. This one, I'll give you this. This guy picked a prompt. Last one. I'm having too much fun. The last one. So a prompt on Hinge, you can pick a shower thought I recently had. That's the prompt, right? And he goes, and I love shower thoughts. Some people have really good shower thoughts. Some people have really bad shower thoughts. And this guy hit me with a shower thought that I actually got jealous that he managed to think of that before me, right? So he goes, who picks up a guide dog's shit?
Who picks up a guide dog's shit? His owner.
Yeah, reckon. Nah, Nitsan. The owner is blind.
Oh, a blind dog. I didn't hear you say blind.
No. If it's a blind dog, the owner can still pick up the dog's shit. A guide dog. So like a dog is guiding a blind person.
Guide dog. I thought you meant a guy's dog.
No. But isn't that a fucking fantastic? Because the guide, like the walker, the owner is blind, right? Like visually impaired. And the dog is guiding the person's walking. If the dog stops to take a shit, who fucking picks it up?
That's so true. I never thought of that.
I know the fact that there's like the police dogs, right? The police dogs, they're trained on command to piss and shit so that it doesn't interfere with their job. So you can be like, do a poo. And then they do it right away. That's what I'm trying to train my dog, but it has been taking a while. I'm just kidding.
My dog is trained to do that now.
I'm taking my dog to your country, to Israel. But anyways, who picks it up? If you know, leave it down, leave it somewhere, send us a DM.
That's so true. I never thought of that.
Man, that's a good one, huh?
That's a good, like,
fantastic.
That's a good thing to think about. It's kind of like the question, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah. Who picks up a guide dog's shit? Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's so true. Because also here you literally get fined for not picking up your dog's poo. They DNA test it and they send you a fine home.
No.
Yeah. They started doing that last year because people don't pick up their dog shit.
We're getting too far away. We had a really nice time. Really nice time here today, but it's time. It's time to leave the folks.
It's time to leave, you guys. So, thank you so much for listening. Yeah. We hope you guys enjoyed the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for listening to this episode. Well, let's give them a little teaser. What is the next episode about? Next episode is episode 3, mental health.
Yeah. We're going to talk about age as a construct.
Yeah. Age is just a number, you guys. We'll tell you more about it next time. Anyways, thanks again for listening.
Don't forget to follow us on social media.
Yeah, that's a good one. At Instagram is at outofluck.podcast. And as we said before, if you don't know, our link tree is also plugged there by Nitan. Generously, she plugged everything there. and you can click it. Everything will be there for you to see. Share this with your friends if you liked it. If you thought that it was a nice chat, you know, come around again. We love to see you.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yes.
We love you guys.
And have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.